The Group Managing Director of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC, Mele Kyari, says Nigeria lost 48 billion due to oil vandalism. A report by our correspondent, Abubakar Kailani.
The Group Managing Director of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation (NNPC), Mele Kyari, said Nigeria lost $48 million to pipeline vandalism and crude oil theft between January and June 2020. Kyari disclosed this in Abuja yesterday at an interactive session on exiting petroleum subsidy, ensuring self-sufficiency in domestic refining of petroleum products, organized by the Senate Joint Committee on Petroleum Resources Upstream and Downstream. According to him, this year alone, the country has lost about $48 million worth of crude oil to pipeline vandalism. He, however, said the amount is lower when compared to similar losses in the past. He said that in 2018 and 2019 alone, the country lost $825 million and $725 million respectively. The reduction, he said, was because of the increased surveillance by the security agencies. He said pipelines are being destroyed within townships, not in the bush, with the active connivance of security agents, security contractors, and community leaders. He said the NNPC has decided to hand over pipeline security completely to the security agencies. It is their work to secure government property. On smuggling of petroleum products across the nation's borders, the GMD said the only way to stop the menace is to remove fuel subsidy completely. Kyari added, "We don't know how much petroleum we consume daily in this country, but we know how much of product is taken out of depot." He said that around 54 million liters of petroleum products are evacuated from the depots daily, but that the consumption is somewhere below that. He said that the NNPC has no knowledge of the amount of products that are transported through the nation's borders to neighboring countries. It is impossible to know. Nobody declares it, and therefore it crosses. It goes, he said. He added that the price of fuel at the borders is higher than the official rate. There are open borders across the West African sub-region. It is impossible to stop cross-border supply of products. No amount of policing or control that anyone can put in place that can stop that, he said. He said that the only way to stop the smuggling of products is to walk away from subsidy so that the sector can have stability. He said that the NNPC is working with CBN to stabilize forex market for all so that marketers will assess forex at market rate and get product at market price. He added that there have been several attempts in the history of the country to walk away from subsidy in petroleum. Until March this year, there were no subsidy on aviation fuel, but the one we couldn't walk away from is subsidy on PMS. We have never seen this price collapse in the history of oil. Price fall from $50 per barrel to less than $10, and no country is prepared for this. Nobody saw it coming. The result of this is revenue collapse because there is a direct correlation. Today, in our effort to ensure price stability in collaboration with the rest of the world, our daily crude production is at 1.48 million barrels per day. He said that the oil giant cannot meet the 1.8 million barrels of oil per day stipulated for it in the revised 2020 budget passed recently by the National Assembly. We are better off producing 1.7 million, and once the price gallops up to $45, we can accommodate the difference, he said. He said that the NNPC deliberately shut down the 3 refineries because they were producing at a loss. Kyari said there is such a condition that we can only extract 70 to 80% of the value of a crude. It is needless to operate it when you know you will lose 20% of the value. Second is that we cannot even guarantee crude oil supply to these lines. From Escravos to Warri and to Kaduna, Boni to Okrika. Pipelines are very old. Some are 30 to 40 years old and have not been replaced, and all the activities of the vandals that happens every day, if you put them under pressure they are designed for, you cannot guarantee required crude oil supply except they are replaced. We have not done proper maintenance in the last 30 years. And the cumulative effect in that, even when you start it today, it cannot be run optimally. You cannot do anything except you replace the pipeline, and the cost of replacement is very high. To replace pipeline from Escravos to Kaduna, you need at least $2 billion, and we don't have that kind of money. He insisted that the best two refineries, Warri and Port Harcourt, were only producing a little above 25% of their capacity when they were running in 2018. He said that 64 billion naira was spent to resuscitate Kaduna refinery, but still it didn't work. We decided to shut all the refineries down completely, he said. He however said the NNPC is working with partners to fix the refineries. According to the GMD, except for Port Harcourt refinery, which will be partly funded by government money because there is provision for it in the 2020 budget, the two others will be fixed completely by third-party financing. He lamented that even if the three refineries are running, they can only produce 18 million liters of PMS per day, a figure he said is far below 60 million liters the group delivers every day. This means that the country will still be a net importer of PMS, he said. On the need to build new refineries, the GMD said that there are many firms that have been given license to build refineries but have been unable to do so. He added, why people don't build refineries here is for a simple reason. When they process, at what rate will they sell the product? Can they recover their costs? This is why no bank will put its money. Nobody will proceed with building refineries. The only way we can have that development is to support the market-based regime. You assure them that when they produce, you buy the product from them at a price they want to deliver it at the market, and that is not an option. The option we have is to allow the market to run. You will see activities at the refinery subsector when there is a total removal of subsidy. The Chairman Senate Joint Committee on Petroleum Resources Upstream and Downstream, Senator Sabo Mohammed, in his remarks said, permit me to say that it is very disheartening and worrisome the way and manner subsidy expenditures soared to over 210% within 2 months period from average cost of 77 million naira per day in March 2018 to 2.4 billion naira per day in May 2018. The report shows that NNPC as a sole importer of petroleum products claimed 843.1 billion naira and over 1 trillion naira to under recovery in 2018 and 2019 respectively, against the average of about 511 billion naira per year in 10 years within the subsidy regime. The arbitrary and unsupervised direct deductions in the name of under-recovery from the country's crude oil revenue without recourse to any enabling law is totally against Section 80, subsection 1, 2, 3, and 4 of the 1999 Constitution as amended. Let me at this point crave your indulgence to put out that the NNPC Act, which empowers the corporation to submit to the National Council of Ministers not later than 3 months before the end of each financial year estimates of its expenditure and income relating to the next financial year, does not negate the supremacy of the Constitution on appropriation matters. The Constitution is very clear on the National Assembly's role in appropriating monies belonging to the Federation and did not exempt anyone. The non-scrutiny of the NNPC budget by the National Assembly makes its oversight role on NNPC very difficult, if not nearly impossible, and should be addressed as quickly as possible.
And that's it today on the Liberator Online Media Report. On behalf of the management crew and the production crew, under the leadership of the Chief Executive Producer, Engineer Dr. Kailani Mohammed, my name is Umar Usman, wishing you the very best.